What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So before we get today's video started, I just want to give a big shout out to everybody out there that's supporting what me and Christine do. A lot of you guys purchased some of the t-shirts that we did come out with. There's still a few left, so if you guys want to go ahead and support the channel, just go ahead and hit the description down below. We try to ship everything out the same day or the next day depending on when you order it. But yeah, I just want to give a big shout out to all you guys out there that support us, as well as just, you know, just stay safe right now. Things are a bit crazy in the world with all this virus stuff and the lockdown, so just make sure you and your family are safe, and thank you guys so much for supporting what me and Christine do. With that being said, so today we're going to be working on some upgrades for the 350Z to get it ready for the upcoming season once all this lockdown and quarantine stuff is over with. All right, so let's get on with it. Okay guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop the diff so I can change the fluid, but I also noticed that the driver's side axle is spewing grease and the boot is ripped. So I'm gonna go ahead and change out this axle. It's a good thing that I have spares. This side on here looks fine. So we're just gonna go ahead and change out the driver's side and then change the diff out. I also have a diff brace that I'll be changing, not changing, but putting in. I also have this diff brace that I'll be installing. It's from KL Fab. Of course I put a diamonds and a budget sticker on here, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and install this as well. The reason for this diff brace is because pretty much what this does is it adds a secondary mounting point to your differential. As you guys can see, it only mounts up on the driver's side, so sometimes the diff ends up like twisting a little bit or movement, and you want to minimize that. You want all the power to be going to the wheels. So yeah, we'll be adding this on here. It pretty much just bolts up to these two diff bolts right here, and then you stick this long stud through the existing hole right here, and yeah, it's that simple. But like I said, we're gonna drop the diff first, change out the axle, change out the fluid in here, and then slap everything back together. So let's go. Okay guys, so to take out the diff is super simple. I actually have a video on it already, so I'm probably not gonna go over it, but pretty much you just on both the axles. As you can see, I have axle spacers. You guys probably won't have axle spacers. This is mainly to space out your axles so that way it doesn't have that weird angle, especially if you're running a lot of camber like I used to. But anyway, you're gonna go ahead and unbolt your axles, unbolt the diff from the drive shaft over here, take these two mounting bolts out as well as a single one back here. You're also gonna have connectors for your wheel sensors, like right here. There's gonna be one on each side, and then it should be able to just drop straight down. A lot of people take out the sway bar. I just kind of work around it, but that's totally up to you if you want to do that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop the diff. Like I said, I already have a video on it. If you guys want to go check it out, it's on my channel, so I'm probably not gonna go show you step by step like I did in the previous video. Okay guys, so I got the diff out. Now I know I could just change the diff fluid in the car, but really I'm going to open up the cover so I can check the welds on it, since this is a welded diff. I haven't really checked my welds in a while, so I just want to make sure that the welds are all good and not starting to crack and stuff, so that way I don't have any issues when I actually go to the track. So that's the reason why I'm dropping the diff, in case any of you guys are wondering why I'm not just refilling it through the fill ports and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and crack this open, check my welds, and then reseal it, fill it back up, and then throw it back in the car after I change out the axle. But if you guys can see, the whole end cap for the axle popped off. It's inside of the spacer, and this thing is like falling apart. So I'm gonna go ahead and change this out too. Okay guys, so if you're dealing with a really tight axle nut like this one, this is what I do. You can follow it if you want, but this is what I do. I just take my breaker bar, I put the other end on the jack, and I just jack the thing up until the nut breaks loose. So yeah. just like that. As you can see, you can now spin it loose. Easy, quick, work smarter, but also sometimes work harder, because yeah, don't be lazy. Okay guys, so the axle was actually catching up on this bolt right here, so I couldn't pull it straight out because it would also rub in against the bag. So what I did was I just dropped the spring bucket, pushed this to the side, and the axle was able to fall out. Let me just show you the condition that this axle is in. As you can see, the end cap came off, the bearings are exposed, the grease leaked out everywhere, the boots are ripped. I'm probably gonna try either rebuild this so I can have a spare, but I also have an extra axle. So let me go ahead and grab that. Okay, so here is the spare axle that I got a while back when I grabbed like a whole rear end for like $250, $300. Came with like everything, so luckily I was able to have one on hand. I don't need to go to the parts store and pay a few $100 for these. So yeah, let me go ahead and throw this axle inside the car. Okay guys, so one thing that I should mention is that the axles are both different sizes. So there's the driver's side, which is the shorter one, and then the passenger side is the longer one. The reason why I didn't notice is because when I was matching it up with the broken one, it was extended. So yeah, so it matched up to the longer length. And yeah, it just so happened that I grabbed the passenger side and tried to install it, and it was too long. So I grabbed the extra one for the driver's side, and it's the same length as the one that I need to put in there. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and throw the correct one in the car right now. One tip I'd recommend is that you take out anything that's in the way that'll make your job easier. That way you're not struggling to pull any parts out or put any parts back in. So yeah, I'm going to install everything back together. Like I said, I unbolted the spring bucket, but I also unbolted the shock. Yes, I could have just unbolted that nut that was holding in that stud for the sway bar, but I did it in the beginning, which made it harder for me to take all of this out. But in the end, you know, you live and you learn. Okay guys, so I got this side all bolted up. Now we can bust open the diff cover and check out the diff. Alright, don't make fun of my welds, but it looks like it's good still. It doesn't look like there's any cracking at all. As you guys can see, I did weld the ring gears to the actual diff casing right here along the edges, as well as weld some the gears together in the corners. But I think what really helps is welding the ring gear to the actual diff casing portion right here. And yeah, they look solid. Let me go ahead and spin it around so I can see the back side as well. Okay, this side looks really good too. As you can see, again, welded all the gears to the casing. Again, this is not the prettiest welds. I welded this thing like 3 years ago. I still suck at welding, but I mean, it's still good considering, you know. Yeah. So let me go ahead and dump all this old black fluid out so we can put some new fluid in there. Okay guys, so now that the diff casing is empty, we are gonna go ahead and clean off all this old silicone so I can lay some more new silicone down to seal it up. Then we're gonna throw it in the car and fill it up. Okay guys, to seal it, I'm just going to use this ultra black. It's what I have laying around. It's gasket maker, so it should work fine. yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and lay a nice bead all the way around. I'll let this sit for a few minutes so it can harden up a little, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the cover on. Okay guys, so while I have the diff cover off, I'm just gonna go ahead and fill it up while it's outside the car. It's much easier. The diff takes about 1.5 quarts of gear oil, so go ahead and fill it up. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and spread this sealant just so that way I can make sure I cover every little part so that way it doesn't leak, and then we'll go ahead and slap the cover on. Okay guys, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the diff in the car now so we can finish up the job. Let me go ahead and pick that up, put it on a jack, slide underneath, lift it up, and throw it in place over there. Okay guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and install the diff brace right now. It's super simple. I'm just gonna go ahead and take off these 2 bolts right here, and then mount the bracket up, and then stick the long bolt through the hole, and pretty much that's it. Let's go ahead and see how easy this is. And that's it, guys. The diff brace is now installed. This is how it should look. So now we have 2 solid mounting points for the diff, so that way it won't twerk. Not twerk. Torque or move any direction. So yeah, I'm gonna go finish putting this together, and then we're gonna put the car on the ground. Okay guys, so the car is back on the ground, and that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this video. There's gonna be more upgrades to come for the 350Z as well as the 240 out there. So make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe right now. Hit that notification button to be part of the notification gang, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace out, stay good, and stay safe.